Hey everyone, my name is Vyom and welcome to the week 10 of 1.33 Kubernetes Release Team meeting. Before we start, please note that this meeting comes under the CNCF or the Kubernetes Code of Conduct, which basically boils down to being excellent to one another. Also, please note that this meeting is being recorded and would be posted onto YouTube publicly. So if you don't want to get your video recorded, please feel free to turn it off and please be mindful of what you say. With that, let's get started with the actual meeting agenda. If you already haven't added yourself to the attendees list, please do so. I see we have one item under open discussion from Wendy. Would you like to take that, Wendy?
Yep. So my questions is based on the feedback from the previous release cycle retro. We have the input that we have the demand to organize one of the retro for the contributor in the APAC time zone. But for this time zone, for this time, I only received the invitation for the retro in the US and Europe time zone. So I just want to ask whether we have any plan to organize another retro for APAC friendly time or not.
This was raised in the meeting last time, the last Americas or EMEA meeting. It was
Yep.
discussed that the person, so Kat would be hosting the retro this time, and she isn't available to host the retro in the APAC time zone because it's way too early in the morning for her. Alternatively, I have asked the leads that whether someone else can host the retro, maybe the release lead or the EA or one of the release lead shadows, because we have them in the APAC region. And yes, it would be good to have an APAC retro. So I have asked them, and it should be possible. But it might not happen today itself. It might happen maybe tomorrow because the invites would have to go out, the announcement would have to go out. So I've asked this point, and let's wait on what feedback we receive.
Yep, but actually for the retro, we will have in one release cycle, we will have at least two retro, right? One for
Yep.
the mid release and the other for the last release cycle. So maybe for this time we only have for the US and the Europe broad time zone, but maybe for the end of the release cycle, if it's possible, I really hope that we will have like a retro time for the APAC time zone as well.
Yep, we have two retros, like you said, mid-cycle and the end of the cycle. Definitely, there should be an APAC retro. I will take up this point.
Okay. Yep. All right. Thank you so much, Mom.
Thank you, Mindy. Is there anything else anyone would like to discuss under open discussion? If not, then let's move on to sub-team updates with enhancements. Lauren.
Hello. So for enhancements this week, we are currently green status. We are tracking 93 caps. 31 are in alpha, 23 in beta, 22 are stable, and 2 are for deprecation. We have 15 caps that are not considered for release. 8 have been removed from the milestone, 7 are deferred. And currently there are 78 caps that are being considered for release. 39 of those are tracked for code freeze, and 39 are at risk for code freeze. Code freeze is planned for later this week at 2 UTC Friday, March 21st, or 19 PDT, Thursday, 20th of March. And we've reached out to all of the CAP owners, and we will be sending reminders again before the code freeze deadline. And code freeze party call has been scheduled on this Friday for 2 UTC, March 21st, or 19 PDT on March 20th. So feel free to join, and the meeting link is shared as well in the doc.
Thank you for the updates, Lauren. Please join the code freeze party if you're interested. The announcement freeze party was also pretty cool. It's nice to see the 50-50 split in tracked and at risk right now, but I feel more would be tracked as we get sooner, or maybe not. Does anyone have any questions for announcements? If not, then let's move on to release signal with Chenga.
Okay, our status is red because we have one one failing test in our master inform. And last week we are 3 failing tests on master informing. The 2 of them have already been resolved. Currently, master informing, the master scale performance is still failing. So we are waiting for the SIG scalability check. And we have already sent the final code read reminder. The code read for 1.33 milestone issued and PRs will take place this Friday, March 21. Thank you.
Thank you, Chenghao. Just one question. Is the scalability failure related to a feature or is it an infra issue? Like, if you know about it.
Scalability, the SIG scalability is still in investigation. They replied today.
Okay, gotcha. Thank you for the updates, Chenghao. Does anyone have any questions for release signal? If not, then let's move on to docs with Urvashi.
Hi, hello everyone. So our current status is green. The update is branch sync PR is merged. We have raised beta 0.0 release node PR and we are getting final reviews from other leads. Our next step is that PR is ready for review and deadline is next week on Tuesday 25th, 25. We will send out the reminders to all open and tracked docs PR. Yeah.
Right. Thank you for the updates, Urvashi. Does anyone have any questions for docs? If not, then let's move on to comms with Ryota. Is Ryota on the call today?
Yep. Hi, folks. This is Ryota from comms. So our progress can be found in the issue linked as usual. So feature blogs, we are still currently tracking 20 feature blogs. We'll see how things go with the feature blog schedule a little bit later. So this is not the highlight for this week, but just sharing that's the current status with it. Release highlights, we'll be reaching out again to all the SIGs to get some input. We haven't got too much at this point, but the deadline is next week. We still have some time, so we're hoping to get more updates from the SIGs by then. Our current status is green because of the mid-cycle sneak peek blog is finally up and the PI is ready for review. We have got quite a few review comments already, but if you have any ideas that you want to adjust or have suggestions to change, definitely please have a look at the pull request and also preview so that you can have a quick look at what it would look like. We are currently tracking to publish this on Monday, 24th of March. And I think we'll be okay to publish according to the deadline that was set much earlier. So I think that's all we have for the comms side. Thanks.
Nice. Thanks for the updates, Ryota, and kudos to the entire comms team for pulling it through on time. I know it's a tight deadline, but still, it's really good to see the effort that went into it. Does anyone have any questions for the comms team or Ryota? If not, then let's move on to release branch management. I don't think Jim or Matteo is on the call today, but let me check SIG release. Yep, so Matteo opened the code freeze enforcement PR, which would be merged when the code freeze actually happens. So I think that should be the only updates from their side. And I think this data should be green. Checking the last week progress. Yep, beta 0 happened. I think they should be green. Does anyone have any questions for release branch management that we can put down the doc and convey to them? If not, then let's move on to release lead. Nina is not there on the call, so I'll read the updates. Today, the retro is after the Americas or the EMEA meeting. Please add any good, bad, ugly you think about the release cycle, release processes, or anything in general to the release retro. It's really important. That's the primary way we improve releases going forward. So if you have anything regarding automation practices or just about anything about the release processes, please add that to the talk. Also, please add any shout outs or any notes of appreciation you want to give out to people who went above and beyond, or like everyone who supported you during the release cycle. They may or may not be on the release team. A lot of main Kubernetes contributors also help a lot throughout the release cycle. So just give shout out to people, appreciate people, because in the end it's open source and a thank you feels good. Apart from that, the code freeze is this week, as conveyed multiple times. Day after tomorrow for me, and maybe different for you depending where you are. I think that should be it from the release lead side. Are there any questions anyone has regarding the retro or code freeze or anything in general? If not, then let's move on to SIG scalability. There is no update from their side, but given the failure that release signal shared, they might be red. I saw the thread on the issue. It can be an infra problem as well as an actual problem, because it's just connection refused while dialing a TCP address. The comment on it is there that investigation is going on. So I think it should be all right on their side. Does anyone have any questions for like scalability? Doesn't usually happen, but if not, then before I stop the recording, is there anything anyone would like to discuss? If not, thank you everyone for joining today's meeting, and I'll convey the APAC retro thing. I have conveyed it already, but I'll follow up on that. And with that, let me stop the recording.